actually feeling the pain, and that's the woman. Today we're going to share it, and all of us sitting down here, one way or the other, have had that mental issue, yes. May not have been expressive, but by the time experts here take us down the drill, you'll find out at what point in the other in your kitchen, you have gone like, yuck, I'm mental. That's how it is. All right, who are the people with me in the studio? My camera will open up to begin to showcase the ladies. Happy Women's Day, by the way.
Happy Women's Day. My producer, Liz. My name is Diva Mom, and it's good to be here this morning.
Mm-hmm. And?
My name is Maimuna Umi Abdullah, a.k.a. Coach Didi.
Okay. And my name is Joe Benachi. Happy Women's Day.
Okay, I know that Coach Tooks Giwamu will be joining us as we go on, but I want to start. I don't know, sometimes I wake up and I'm already crazy. I don't know if anybody feels that. I wake up and just go back to my room because I feel just crazy. You know, you wake up, sometimes it could be that the power source has gone off, you need to cook, you know, something in the fridge has spoiled, and your boss is calling because you need to be in the office at 8, and you're running crazy. By the time you come to work, it's 8 o'clock, you're looking like it's already 4 o'clock. I don't know if anybody feels same from, you know, around here.
Yeah, I think most of us feel that. I think it's just being human. It's part of being human, and we all have emotions. So I used to wonder also, I wake up just angry with everybody. You know, there are people you met in the morning and you say good morning and they'll say, what is good about the morning? You know? But I think that's basically stress sometimes, emotional distress sometimes, but mental health itself, it's quite different. Mm-hmm. Mental health is basically how we think, how we feel, and how we behave. And that's why we say we all have mental health issues, because if you're alive, you must think, you must feel, and you must behave. So we all have mental health issues.
You know, somebody said if you're in Nigeria, you observe that Nigerians,
yes,
before they ask you a question, before they do anything, they tell you, please, no vex. You know, so they want to ask for a road. Say, my sister, please, no vex. Good news.
Because it's an expression. It's all about expression. You see, like right now in Nigeria, I'm telling you, it's kind of tedious. Women go through some, I think, age crisis, and many people don't know about it.
Age crisis?
Age crisis.
What does that mean?
Yeah, okay. Let me use myself as an example. I'm in my premenopausal stage in life. Anger.
Wow. Okay.
You know, there's anger, and it is a lot.
The anger, does anybody need to excite you to get angry, or you just...
No, it's a mental, it's a health thing. You know, it was something I didn't know. And I realized that there were older friends that I had, and I just thought they were bipolar. Until I studied it, and I just realized that with experience, I now try to work with my own self.
Okay.
It's very difficult, and society does not know. So people just think that because when you go to the market and somebody just says, okay, you now say that thing is 1,000 naira. The person, you are now saying, no, it's this amount, and you snap. The minute you snap, the person says, go and sort out your problem in your house. But you see, the thing here is that so many women are going through this. It happens in the workplace. It happens in our society. And these things, people have to talk about it. Because basically, that's one of the reasons things are not working and people don't know. And when people don't know about these things, you cannot deal with it.
I think, Lizzie, you know, we just mentioned it about maybe we should talk about aging and women mental health. Yes. That should be something I think we should discuss on its own. Because
very important.
Aging is actually, it can be traumatic for some people.
Very, very.
And the social construct, as Devon said, affects the way we think, feel, and behave, especially towards aging. I think that's something we should talk about on its own.
All right, you just mentioned Devon. I know that in her mind, there's a whole lot going on in her mind, if I know her well, and she can't wait to, you know, pull it up. But I'm just wondering, you have worked with a lot of people in the course of your job as a media personality. What are those bottled up energies, negative energy, that really lead women to mental, you know, like the promo said, wreck?
Yeah. Apart from personal issues going on in your life, just as Obanachi mentioned, you know, you also have hormonal changes. these things happen once a month when you are still within your fertile period. When, that time of the month comes around, there are some women that struggle with serious, hormonal imbalances that really take a toll on their emotional health. And then the way their demeanor, their attitude at that time, and you like, this person is difficult, and you just find that around that time of the month that is going on. And then for those of us that are entering that phase where you will soon be phased out of your fertility point in life, perimenopause, that also comes with its own challenges. Apart from, you also experience hot flushes, you are hotter than the person, you feel the heat more than the person sitting next to you, and all of that. It's biological, it's hormonal. So sometimes, like for me, when I came to understand that, sometimes my temperament is being dictated by what is happening to me biologically.
Sure.
I started learning how to temper myself, so that when I'm about to lash out over absolutely nothing, I rein myself in. So you find that in my home, for instance, I'm more likely to be quiet than to speak up, because I don't want to speak out of turn and hurt somebody's feelings.
There's some people who tell you, you're angry, you're supposed to talk. You're not talking in a bad way.
I think it depends.
Talking is different from lashing out.
Yeah, I agree
And
with you.
that is the knee-jerk reaction. That is the knee-jerk reaction. So when that thing comes up inside me to just, I hold it.
And talking,
I hold
doesn't
it.
necessarily
I walk
help
away.
sometimes.
Yes.
There are toxic relationships whereby talking is a problem. So you just learn to just keep it, because it doesn't help sometimes.
No, they tell you you should learn when to talk.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
when
you
not
should
to
learn
talk.
when not to talk.
Yes.
Elizabeth, are you listening?
I think,
Are you listening?
I think
Know when to talk and when not to talk.
I'm at that point in my life where, as a younger lady, as a single lady, I don't take this. I take a lot now. I take it. Oh no, I take it. For my own mental well-being.
Yes, I know.
There can be a whole lot of madness going on here, and yours truly will just walk by.
Yes.
I'm like, no problem.
Yeah.
It's okay.
No problem. It's okay.
Go and watch on TikTok. You'll find something there that will amuse you. And then if it's something that really needs addressing, when I am sure that I can talk to this person in
Without
a calm way,
emotions, yes.
at a point when I have reined in my emotions, that's when I'll open my mouth. I try very hard now to avoid the knee-jerk, open my mouth and say something.
I think
with age.
Yeah, it goes with age.
But you see, the normal me, like something happened yesterday, and that's why I always use everyday living. I am at the queue. I'm queuing for fuel. And somebody and I came down and I said, why are you doing this?
I'm not yet that mature.
I'm telling you.
Your own maturity is never reached.
Right there.
And the next thing he said, I beg you be woman, I beg excuse me.
You will hear from me.
Guess what?
That's where my head will
That
be.
is the problem.
Why would you do something like you say because you're a
I
woman?
try to be calm all the time because I realize because of, like we say, the hormonal issue. Because when you snap, after a while you might start having headache and all that. So I try to calm down. And I just came down. And the thing that angered me yesterday, the guy was kind of tiny. And when I got out of the car, and he looked at me and says, they know they play with you. Man, you women, you today, una body today hot. So I just realized by the time I came out, he now saw I couldn't be intimidated. So he just said, okay, they go. And it happens all the time. It gets to me because the bottom line, the next thing I'm going to hear, I shall. And it's sickening. But when I was much younger, it used to get to my system. But right now, that's the only name you call me.
You see,
That's it. So it doesn't
I was listening
I don't get worked
to
up
two
anymore.
girls.
Yeah.
Incidentally, these were uniform men. I'm not going to call their,
Okay.
out of uniform. You saw them. Granted, these girls were not decently dressed.
Okay.
And the first thing they did was, Asha, when I don't come back from work. And I was taken aback. I was ashamed myself, staying around there. I was actually doing an early morning walk. The girls gave them the right answer. I said, customer, you know, come walk. I said, yes, this is the way to handle it. You give me, I give you back. And they also quickly understood that kept quiet. They didn't say anything. But then let's quickly take a break. We're talking about stress management and ways to handle it. And I know that one of us who will be joining us as soon as she plays the feature for us, she'll be joining us to talk about it. And we're talking about what happened last Saturday with Tokumbo Giwa Amu, where she sat through with her friends. Let's roll this beat if you're ready.
When great minds come together, a masterpiece is always the expectation. That was exemplified at the Breakfast Breakthrough with the timeout coach, Mrs. Tokumbo Giwa Amu. The session with the famous fitness trainer, Mrs. Faith Uti, marked the event's takeoff at the sports court. The 45-minute workout session saw the women so energetically investing their energy and strength in the aerobics exercise. One could see the joy and satisfaction on their faces as they pushed on. With the excited spirit and tired muscles, it was only natural for meditation exercise to follow. This was led by the host of the event, Mrs. Tokumbo Giwa Amu.
No more weight. No more weight. You're like floating. You're floating. You're breathing in and you're breathing out and you're moving.
The ladies got a good, intense 10-minute meditation exercise, which helped them relieve themselves of stress, relax, reflect, detoxify, and give vent to all the negative emotions they may have been bottling on the inside. With everyone feeling relaxed and refreshed, the guest speaker, Dr. Umar Wali Yaradua, took the stage on health issues.
A lot of people think just health is just being sick or checking your BP and whatever.
The women learned so much about their health and how to manage key areas of their lives, which includes menopause, cancer, childbirth, amongst others. Some of the women also shared their experiences on major health challenges they faced and admonished other women on how to avoid and manage such situations. It was indeed an emotional moment for everyone. The gathering would have been incomplete without the Item 7 session, as all were already famished after the long hard workout. So everyone joined the queue and were treated to a buffet of delicious breakfasts. And the women had the opportunity to unwind, make new friends, and network for business and other purposes. On a final note, the host, Mrs. Tokumbo Giwa Amu, gave a short lecture on the wheel of life.
Zero means absolutely nothing. It could be I'm not happy with this, or I have achieved nothing here, and but I can go to 1. So 0 is the least, and 10 is the maximum.
And women participated in rating several areas of their lives. It was a time out worth having for them, and indeed, all women.
Time out with concert!
Now you know what to do when you're stressed out. I like the fact where it says the negative emotions you bottle up. If you join such a group, you get to open up and let them pour out through the natural vent. I like to dance when I'm stressed out, and it has a way of cooling me, especially if I dance in the public.
Can I explain something?
Okay.
Easy. there's this thing we say a lot, negative. There's no such thing as a negative emotion. Emotions are neither negative nor positive. It's our reaction to emotions. Because if something happens to you, I always give this analogy. If someone steps on me right now, and I go, are you stupid? Are you mad? That's me reacting to that stimulus of her stepping on me. Another person, the same person could step on her and she'd say, babe, you stepped on me now. And then now she may react to me, I stepped on you. And I say,
the third one, I'll push you.
So it's basically how we react to the stimulus and not the emotion itself.
Okay. All right, so let me get back to what we just saw. Coach, life coach Tokes is here. And we enjoyed our package, even though he didn't bring some of us in. I noticed Coach Didi was shouting. They left me out.
We spoke, yeah. She had something that morning.
So she wished to be there.
Yes.
Now, how, I want to know, that was organized in respect for the women, the International Women's Day celebration. How did you, feel at the end of the day? I wasn't there, you were there, so let's get to emotionally speaking.
So good to see you though, first of all. Welcome and congratulations on this beautiful setting. Hello everybody. I'm so glad to be here. And happy Independent International Women's Day to all of us women. That day was so beautiful. It was so amazing. Honestly, the reactions, right? The feedback from all the women that came. It was like melting my heart. Because, she was talking about, the emotions are not negative and things like that. So when we have something we do in coaching that's called centering, right? So it has something to do with your breathing and just taking a lot of weight off of you. And there was a part that I said, there's the breezes moving through your buttocks and like the air is going out, and the people were like, and after they said to me, Coach Tokes, that part of the, I said, yes, Coach, you can let out air.
From where?
From where the buttocks is.
Okay. Because that means you're farting.
Yeah, exactly. So whatever smelly thing is in there, it goes out. But the truth is that it is relaxing because it's all air that bloats you up anyway.
Well, if you do that, is it okay?
Yes, it's not polite, yes, but however, because in that setting where we were, yes, and the mental state of the people at that time would be like, oh wow. Maybe after we'll probably laugh about it, but there and then you realize that something has come out of you. Do you understand? It's a way it makes you feel something has actually come out of you. She's still looking.
I'm a body girl. I don't get
you don't. No, you don't. Yeah.
But
you could have
been disobeyed by.
But it may not have even made a sound for all you know.
Well, it's when you think it won't make a sound that something happens and goes wrong, and everybody's like, "Who was that?"
But at that time, because you see, we did the workout thing, and like I said to people, the working out is so good for you because, like I say, it produces exercise, produces endorphins, so it just produces happy feelings, those happy hormones. Whatever weights you came in with, it's gone off. And then while we did the breathing thing and the centering thing, just after that, it's so that everybody just comes back to one place. So you're calm, your body calms down, you're breathing first of all, and then your body comes back to normal temperature and is breathing, your lungs are breathing, everything is settled, and your mind is sort of clear. Because by the time we go through that exercise, we realize that all the thoughts you've been thinking of, they've gone. And of course, then it helps me as a life coach to ask the questions and make you answer clearly. Yeah. So.
Okay, it's really nice. I'm now I have 2 life coaches here to help us with things. I know that your breathing program for the women, it's ongoing. You have anyone recently?
Yeah, I have a Woman with a Plan workshop. I notice that most women complain about life or complain about being unhappy. They complain generally about everything in their lives, but we refuse to take responsibility for our role in our lives. Okay. And it always starts, any kind of change you want to do, starts with a mindset shift.
All right, now, what you're saying was actually what I was going to ask. What are those complaints women have? That if it's not well handled, it will probably get us into a mental problem.
The major complaint is
men.
Honestly, relationship, always marriage, children, older children, in-laws, poverty, unemployment. I think those are big reasons.
And the workplace.
Okay, agree. Okay, let me hold you there. You two, you're a coach. What are the other things women complain about?
I mean, she said mainly love. She said love, which
Love
is relationships, you know, and in finances. So finances, not even in the fact that I have so much money, in the fact that I'm empowered in my financial status and I can do things. Because, you know, women, we're nurturers, we're births, we birth things. So you want to be able to see that I can do this for somebody and it's, you know, and it grows. You know, so we want to see things growing. So that's what a lot of women that day was mainly love. Because you realize that most of them realize that without the love they're not happy. But really, like I said to them, when you did the wheel of life, right? Mm-hmm. And then you answered all the questions and you're like where you are. So I said, okay, so who can shift this for you?
I think for me, talking about the thing about when we talk about love, you see, maybe in coaching, you have to take responsibility for yourself.
Thank
love
you.
involves another person.
So I was
that's why
going
we talk
there,
about
right?
creating happiness.
So that's what I was going to.
Yeah.
So I said to them, so who can shift this for you?
Uh-huh.
And you know, then there's a silence because you're like thinking. And then you have maybe out of 20 people, one person says you, as in like only me. So that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So the truth is that it has to come from within. Like I told you all before that. So what do I say with my life coaching thing is be you to the full. Whoever you are, you can do it on your own. And this, my last program was tagged Inside Out, Breakthrough. So from within, you have to wash yourself clean from the inside. Break yourself out of that's who you think you are to the real inner you and make peace with that person. And of course, it's a one step, you know. I told them about celebrating the effort, you know. So you take one step and celebrate, oh, well, I did well today. I didn't shout back at that person that stepped on my foot, you know, and things like that. So celebrate that part of you. And even if, okay, even if it's in the love, so love comes in different ways. Because we were just saying now, if you can't get what you don't have.
Yes.
You can't give what you don't have as well.
And even when you do have it, it doesn't mean you necessarily get it.
Yes, and you have to be able to accept, like it's the person.
Yeah.
You said it's the reaction
yeah.
of the person. So it's that person. Are you accepting what the person is giving? So just, you know, what's that? Respect. Just respect yourself, first of all. If you respect yourself, your values, you know, what are your values, your beliefs and all those things, they will guide you and you will now not take it from the next person.
But you know, the society,
I was just going to...
this society, it doesn't work like that. Mm-hmm. You see, the thing I've studied is most people who grew up, I think it's, is it where you grew up, there's this thing about, especially the woman, she's not loved. She is, they stereotyped us and they say, this is what women are meant to do. To be the mothers, to clean, to cook, to do this and all that. And the women are supposed to take anything that comes to them. And I just realized that I have certain friends, their home front shows when we're all together. They have a problem, complex.
Okay.
They can't talk out. They can't tell you their problems. They don't have people. You see, I always tell people that if you can't tell anybody, you should be able to tell your mom. And your mom can guide you. So when some people, their mothers run them down, then you have a problem. If your mom is running you down, who are you going to be comfortable with to talk to? And that's why I always tell women, try and have go for women groups. Do things that make you happy.
Yes, exactly.
If there's a dance class,
To go for WAP.
okay, I will tell them to go for a workshop. You know, I like to swim.
Yeah.
And you know, anytime I'm going to swim, everybody says, "Oh my God, with your size."
Really?
I said, "Excuse me."
Exactly.
Your size.
Like really?
I don't
But you see,
understand
the
this.
problem in this society is that people just open their mouths. Oh, don't you think you are too big?
For what?
Don't you think to swim
But
and all that?
you fly inside the river and get
so the next thing I
sinking.
tell them, I will do aerobics in the pool.
Yeah.
You don't have to swim. When I'm there, that's my happy place. So the thing now is that we now have to walk with what makes you happy. You know, like, okay, girls out. Let's go and let's go to, there's a live band. Let's go together. You don't have to go with a man. A man does not have to
No,
make
exactly.
you happy. And this is what I keep telling people. A man does not have to make you happy. You don't have to be married to be happy.
Yes.
You don't have to have kids to be happy.
Yes.
Because society tends to bring women who are not married, women who don't have kids, women who don't supposedly not have money. I always tell people, I don't know what you mean by you have money. I might not have the kind of money that you have, but I have peace.
Yes, contentment.
And I'm happy.
That's what is
Yes, if you're content.
And that's it.
So what
And
you were
it gives
talking
me
about,
peace.
these
About creating happiness. You know,
Yeah.
we keep telling women, look, like you said,
Yeah.
find happiness within
within
yourself.
you. Yes, from within.
Stop searching for happiness
From
outside
somebody
yourself
else.
because
Yes.
you cannot control that
Sure,
person.
you can't.
So that
Yeah.
person can
Yeah.
love you today and not love you tomorrow.
True.
Then what?
But
When you
another
create
thing,
happiness
talk
within
about,
yourself, when you love yourself,
Yeah.
you will always love yourself.
Exactly.
Now, if I may come in, especially in situations where the woman is married,
Yeah.
you know that you can be latched to a spouse that has the power to
switch
stop
off.
you
Yes.
from taking joy where you find it.
Yeah, manipulative
You like
hus-
going
spouses.
for
Killjoy.
Yes.
Be married to a man who says,
Says
over my dead
dead
body,
body.
for you to be seen in
True.
somewhere in public.
Yeah.
That's why you do
And that's what
courtship
makes
first.
you happy.
Yes.
That's what makes you feel calm.
Yeah.
And he will not let you do
Yeah.
Maybe you're the kind of person who, when you're really down, you know, you just want to argue with a few people on social media and vent that way. And you have this spouse that has said, over my dead body for you to be on Facebook.
So
all the time.
Facebook.
So you see, sometimes when I hear people saying you must find your happiness from within
you.
you cannot extract it from the other person, and that person is not willing to give it. I understand what is being said, but I also know that there are people who have the power to put you in a place of misery,
Yes.
and they utilize
They
that
utilize
power
it, yes.
to the full extent that they can. Another batch of people that can make your life a living misery, usually without planning to, is your children. You can raise your child a certain
Oh,
way,
yes, definitely.
and your child will exhibit tendencies that you don't know where that is coming from.
So can I-
because that's not what you gave them
Yeah.
in the house.
Exactly.
The schools they went to are decent schools, but then there's this child that wherever you
think-
can find
I
a
think
gang
it's
of bad
relationship.
people, that's where the
They
person
go there hanging
is.
around.
They are children in that school.
They will steal, they will lie, they will take substances, they will gamble, they will do this, and you didn't teach them that. It will take a parent that is spaced out
Yeah.
not to find misery in that.
I agree with you.
So
Yes.
I need you guys to break
But-
it down.
So-
For me, how do you remove these? These are people that you are encountering daily. These are people that are important to you. Whether they are progressing or regressing impacts you as well. And you are telling me that I should somehow divorce myself from what
Excuse me.
and find my own inner happiness. Especially when you're married to the kind of person who you cannot do social media, you cannot go out, your friend cannot visit you, and all of this.
Are you supposed to be married to that kind of man?
No, people change after marriage.
Yes, but life is full of hard choices. If it's too hot, it's only they fill up. I always give this analogy of a man with his dog. While he was sitting and reading a newspaper, an old man. You know, imagine this American homes, and he was just walking on his chair, you know, in retirement, and then his old dog came and sat beside him. But the house is very old, so it sat on a nail. And then the man looked at the dog and continued reading his newspaper. And the dog was wincing in pain slightly. But over time, it started groaning in pain because the pain was getting more, and then blood started trickling down from his body. His neighbor was just watching. He was saying, like, what's wrong with this man now? Can he say? But the man said nothing. He would look at the dog and continue reading.
Oh my God.
The neighbor couldn't help it, and he said, Mr. Kusan, so can't you see your dog is whining in pain? He looked at his neighbor, looked at the dog, and he said, it's not hurting bad enough.
Oh dear.
When it does, it will simply stand up. That was profound for me.
Exactly.
It was one of my first lectures in neurolinguistic programming. You cannot force people to change. You cannot force people to take or not take crap. When you have had enough,
You walk away.
Will know.
Yes.
Nobody would tell you. Nobody cannot force anybody out of anywhere. When the person has had enough, you will decide, I am done.
Yeah.
How are you done with the child that is giving you issues?
You can be done with your child like giving issues in the sense that
Husband, you can leave.
listen.
Yes.
Let me tell you, that's what
You can't leave the child.
Even the husband, sometimes you don't even have to.
Even if you don't, exactly, you don't even have to
But
leave.
in the case of the child, for example, you see, like I told her about the stimulus. Life is a stimulus. Every experience, every event is a stimulus. How you choose to react to it, that is why your superpower is.
Yeah.
When you have a child who's a delinquent, most parents go into depression because of the behavior of the child, right?
Yeah.
Now you have to separate the child from the child's behavior. Why? Which means that child, no matter how bad that child is, does good sometimes.
Yes.
So try to focus more on the child's
good.
and not the child's bad. And secondly, know that you cannot make that child think, feel, or behave in any particular way and find your peace with that. While you keep trying to help the child change, but knowing that you are not in control of anybody's change.
There you go.
The reason why women suffer from depression and anxiety is we continuously try to change people. You cannot change anybody.
Yes, and
When
then
you accept you cannot do that, you make a choice, either to manage the person and cope in a healthy manner. Because most women who are into drugs in marriage is because they are unhappy and they find unhealthy coping mechanisms and they turn into drugs.
which doesn't even settle anything anyway.
It doesn't help anything.
Makes it worse.
So you have to find a healthy coping mechanism first by building self-esteem.
Very important.
There you go.
You know
Very important.
That loving
when you
yourself
love yourself
is so...
and you respect yourself, create time for yourself. You see me on food. I say it everywhere. I love food. You know that pain when you go, no, let me chop food, good food.
But you love food and you are slim.
Yes.
We that don't love food, we are big.
Let me tell you something. So, you know, some time ago I used this song. There's an old song that the guy used to sing. I love myself. I'm proud of me. So sometimes I do some silly things. I tell you, I don't know how to skip. As old as I am, I don't know how to skip. And I put my...
I don't know how to skip
really
either.
ugly and horrible. Then I put that, I love myself, I'm proud of me. You see, from deep within, right? If you accept yourself, first of all, there's so many things you can't change, but you know, you can always, if you want to change yourself, you can change yourself. You can't change the next person, like she said.
Yeah, true.
So you decide, and there's those 3 Fs, you know, do you want to freeze? You know,
fight.
Yes, you want to
to
fight
choose.
it. And then, so like that dog, he decided to just freeze. But you can decide to fight something, like she said, you don't have to even leave. You can sit there and let them know, hello, we're either in this together, yes, and then you can decide, I'm leaving.
Yes.
Or I can sit here and I'm going to make myself happy. You will be miserable.
Yes.
You have, so all those little things, but for the child,
You don't have to be miserable, you can be happy, we can both be happy.
No, what I'm saying is the next person can decide to be miserable if he sees me happy. But with the child.
When it comes to the child, I'm not...
Yeah, I know that's a bit...
when it comes to the ones that are adults,
you can...
I've done the best I can do. But when you're still like a preteen, these secondary school
I
laws,
know.
for instance, which is where I've seen instances of women, and if your daughter decides to be wayward, oh my God,
It's
you're
terrible.
better off with a wayward son.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Well, I don't know. But
No, because you see why...
so much
You see, for the wayward son, it's terrible. Why?
All of them are bad.
See, let me tell you, I know. But you know what she said, when she said it's better?
It's not
See,
better. I
police.
think it's more painful.
All you be doing is police station. And because we had an experience, and you know, it's sad because when you go to the police station, one day you might be unlucky, and they say the guy is an armed robber, and he's been killed. So whether it's a boy child or a girl child, I think it's like when I was growing up, I used to say, oh no, I wanted to go to a girls' school. Why did I want that? I wanted that because I just thought that, how can I be sitting in a class with boys? Oh my God, because the mentality I had then was that if a boy is sitting beside you, you get pregnant. You know, silly things. But you know, the best thing that happened to me in life was that my father made sure I went to a mixed school, and that thing changed my perception about life. Because it's not easy, because I see some of my friends who went to single schools. Guess what? In this society, it's affecting them. And I sit down and I wonder.
Single school, yeah.
I know, QC, I know. You guys are, no, I know you guys are different, but I have friends. And you know, anytime they see the men, it's like God just entered.
Up until now?
Yes, yeah. So what I always say, I always tell them, you know what? as Christians, let's do Proverbs 31. Talks about you as a woman. Read it and keep reading it. And that changes your perception of who a woman is.
You know what you were saying, it talked about not being able to deal with a problem child. I recall when my kids were small, I had the second one used to be a lot of cry baby. And you would do and do and do, she just won't stop crying. So one day she started crying. One of those, she actually would tell you, Mommy, I want to cry. Yeah. When she got up to like 3, 4, 5 years, she said, I feel like crying. And you say, are you sure? She said, yes.
You're happy? Cry.
You will be happy when you cry. She said, I said, okay, just go to the balcony and cry. She will walk there and cry. When she's done, she will come back and say, I'm satisfied. And you say, okay, you're satisfied.
Wow, it makes her happy.
It makes her happy. Luckily, she's grown up now, so she doesn't do that. Wow. But then, prior to when she could express herself, once she started crying, I couldn't handle it. I'll drop her in her, on the bed. As she's crying, me too, I start crying. It's a competition. She will shout, I will shout. Then she will get shocked. And then she will stop.
Okay.
So, a lot of times, when children are still in that impressionable age, it takes you being almost like them to be able to catch them. That's my thinking.
Yeah.
You know, if you are talking to a child from up there, the child will never really toe that line. Once they have not gotten up to 16, it's important for you to come down low. Sometimes, even if it's physical, you need to carry your kitchen stool and sit down and have a dialogue. Allow them to express themselves.
Something in coaching, actually.
And then try also to be friends with whoever they are friends with. That way you don't get it wrong. Don't ever be too busy as a parent. You notice I didn't say mom or dad. To be friends with your children's friends. Invite them in the house.
Invite them.
Go to their house. Be friends with their mom. That way, you won't get to that point where you will need to get into depression because your child has gone, haywire. So, but if at that early stage of their, upbringing, you're busy chasing money, you're busy chasing self-esteem, self-actualization, all those high angle of the pyramid of Maslow, you will lose the basic things, and one of them is training your child. And speaking of which, a lot of people are writing in, before I become the bad person in the house, let's see the much we can take, from the conversations outside. Somebody just says here, I love this show. Thank you too. We love you when you're with us. Hello ladies, I am a huge fan of the conversation and it's amazing what you are doing there. Thank you. Thank you too. I am a working housewife, a mom of 6 minors. Oh my God. That's 6 blessings for you if you ask me. With so many life problems, including money, I am also overweight. Finding time to exercise at home have been a failure for me, and my heart is getting heavier every day. I feel like I'm going to die. And leave my children soon. No, you're not going to do that. Please, the coaches in the house should guide and advise me on what to do because I'm really suffering.
I would say, first of all, you will always find time for what is important to you. Whatever you want to do for yourself, and it's important to you, find time for it, right? And like this program is called Conversations. There's something about talking, speaking out, right? And she was talking about talking to your mom, or somebody, just talking to somebody. So sometimes it might not even be your mom or so. I tell somebody the other day, talk to somebody. They can think you're mad, but you've let it out, and the person has gone, and you're free. So conversations, when we're talking about your children, as from when they're 0 and you're talking to them and they're able to talk back to you. So even when they sort of think they've missed it, or you think they have missed it, and there's an open line for communication. That communication is so important. Conversing with the next person, finding time to do what you want to do. She talked about money,
but she
exercise.
doesn't have money. That's a big one.
So hello. I used to work out almost every day before. And all of a sudden, I'm not able to. I just put on Walk with Liz soon in my front of my television. Okay, walk around your house. You don't understand. That's what I'm saying. You would do it if you want to do it. Nothing is easy. Everything is always easier said than done. But you will make time, make room for what you want. That's whatever is important to you. I'm telling you.
That's why I'll come in. What I would tell her is this. You are afraid you are going to die, Would you like to? You want to die?
If she dies, I will inherit your 6 children.
You do want to die or you don't want to. So how badly don't you want to die? Because you need to self-motivate. No matter
Right,
what motivation you
self-motivate.
have, if you do not motivate yourself, it will be the same old story. You don't want to die, Abby. So you visualize yourself dead. These are 6 children. Who will carry them for you?
Visualize yourself
Who will
dead.
take
I
care
like
of them?
that.
So I think that is enough. If, you see, it's important you have a very big why.
Yes.
The reason people make changes in their lives is a very big why, a huge why. Yes. You don't want to die. You don't want to leave it to your speaking for another person to come and
there you go,
maybe they will
exactly.
suffer. My dear, that is enough for you to think, I beg, let
No,
me
but
get
if you
back
have
my
six kids,
That's 6
why,
persons.
why would you think that you're going to
6
die?
persons.
Yeah,
Because I think it's the finances that is. I think it's the finances.
When
Is she
you look
married?
around, if you have
Is she
kids,
married?
I think
Yeah,
that's-
she's
probably.
if you have kids and your child walks up to you, sometimes it's a craving. Maybe I really want to eat chocolate.
And you don't have.
You look in your pocket and what's left
Yeah.
is transport money. You feel as if somebody poured
I
acid,
know.
Yes. Yes.
you know? Because how much is chocolate? And you can't give this child chocolate because you're reserving that money so that you can transport your chocolate this month. And it breaks your heart. And when that becomes a constant
Yeah.
pressure,
Yeah.
it weighs you down. It kills your spirit.
So there's something I say.
true.
There's a phrase I use. Your pain births your gain. Your pain births your gain. Whatever, you know, when it's that painful, you will do something about it. You move.
You know
You
what
move. So
you-
even with
what
no
I want
money,
to
you will
take
find
out of-
something. Sell pure water.
What I want to take out of her, saying here, she says she's a working housewife. That means she has a job.
She has a
Probably
job.
But
she's,
still it's not enough.
Not paid enough.
No, I
money
think
is
the
not-
problem now
She's
is
not- she's
I
not
don't
managing.
know this lady. I'm assuming is her husband working. You see, the thing I always tell people, you can't just go and start. You don't start having kids all the time. Sensible
here,
people right now. Oh, sensible.
So they're here already.
No, yeah,
They're here already.
I know that. No,
Exactly.
you see, they're already there. So let us talk to people who are not there yet. Don't get.
When you're not addressing
No,
That's it.
look. I think you guys have addressed it, and it's always good for the ones that are coming up to know that you don't go having too many kids
plan
when
it.
you can,
Yes, you can
when
plan.
you can handle them.
Additionally, maybe they had those kids when things were good.
Yeah, for
And
them.
they could handle
Exactly,
it, and
yes.
then they
Something could have
learned how
happened.
to-
Okay, let's be more practical. I want to talk to her, where she said she doesn't find time to work out, perhaps because she has children. Now, as you lay your bed, so you lie on it. I have 3 children. From day 1, I give birth. 2 weeks after, I start to work out
Start to
because
work out,
I am
exactly.
naturally born big. And I don't want to lose being the, chick in town. Yes. I need to be
And the husband changes
and
his
I need to slay. Yes.
Yes.
All the time.
Yeah.
So I try to, 2 weeks after I start, I recall my kids understand because they started the workout with me when they were on the bed, when they could
Yes.
kick. I'm doing
Yes.
body stretch,
There you go, exactly.
They are kicking their hands and their leg like this, following me. When they became bigger, I recall that music by Madonna last night. I dreamt of something. I used to dance in God's stairs. Once that music starts, my daughter knows I have started exercise. And I say, it's in my private time, it's my moment, even if it's just 30 minutes. Somebody comes by the door, she said, no, you can't go in, mommy is doing exercise. Not exercise, exercise.
Queen Liz, another thing with, she said she's overweight.
I'm not even going, when I grew older now, today I brought up this to show you. I've already made 8,500 and something steps.
Oh, wow, fantastic.
And 700 and something calories burnt. And I was still here by 8. How did I do it? I had to cook breakfast. And while cooking in the kitchen, I was dancing.
There you go.
Do you understand?
So you will make time
you
for
make
it.
time. You
Somehow.
can dance.
Because that's what I'm saying.
That's what makes you happy.
Yes, I find
Yes,
joy in dancing. I have said it
Because you
severally.
found
Yes.
So
it.
when I'm cooking,
She
I'm
needs
dancing.
to find something.
Yes.
So
So
I'm
what
dancing
makes you happy? Whatever
because
it
when
is.
I'm doing that, I don't remember there's a bill to pick. No.
Are you finding joy in
No.
dancing? Your weight is important to you.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's not
also
about dancing.
important.
So also another thing we cannot just switch off is swipe away. Is that to be overweight, you need to look into your eating.
Take a
Let me tell you, You can be overweight and work out, and you won't lose this weight. I'm sorry to tell you. I have friends who came for that program.
No, which is
they work out. They went for their exercise that morning. They work out even more than I do. But yes, so you have to watch it.
No, but you see the thing here about overweight. I don't really eat. The only problem that I think I have is frizzy drinks.
Right. So exactly. So you have to find what it is.
Yeah. So
you have to find what it is.
Fizzy drinks. And I always tell people is that why don't you look at your lineage and because most people from my side are on the big side. So the thing here, and I always tell people, the mistake people make is that big people are not healthy.
No.
That the slimmer ones are healthier, which is not true.
Yeah, exactly.
Not necessary, but that's what many people believe. So the thing sometimes is, I always say that I don't mind my size. When I try to walk, for me, is that I don't want to have a big tummy.
There you go.
So what I try to do is to work on that, because if I look at myself in the mirror,
I know why your tummy is never big.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Your
that's
why
it. So,
is important.
and I looked at, and I said, okay, why don't you just have the bottle shape? So at least I've tried enough. That bottle shape, keep it. Because if I'm big and I have a big tummy.
I think, you see, the thing is, we have to learn to take responsibility.
Yeah,
yes,
I agree.
That's it.
People are unhappy where they are and do nothing.
Do nothing.
You have to take responsibility. We make excuses all the time. Why I cannot do this? I'm too tall, I'm too dark, I'm too short, I'm too this. There is a reason why. So you have to discard
You have to be deliberate
about what you do.
Be deliberate, be intentional, be consistent with that thing.
Don't eat after 7.
You know what?
So that's a
Devon
good
was
advice.
saying.
Don't eat after 7.
She's trying to bring up the fact that the finances are very important. It's very important, really. You know, everybody knows we're all civil servants, and we know how much we're paid. I'm not going to talk that. So what we try to do is, what we learned in economics. Scale of preference, alternative cost, and all of that. And you bring it to bear, practicality. Yeah. Now, instead of taking my daughters to go to the salon to do their hair, I learned to do hair myself. So I do their hair. Now, instead of packing their clothes to the tailors to sew, the simple ones, I try to cut and sew myself. Sometimes we learn trade. Instead of going to, buy shawarma, I learned to make shawarma with
these are even good traits, because you're even teaching.
You're teaching.
Yes, I'm also teaching them. And the money I realize that a tailor, I save it.
Yes, and they're learning this as well.
I save it. So if you have 6 children, you can actually learn to do their boys bat their hair at home. Do the hair of the girls at home. Sew the minor clothes you can until you begin to do it real big. Do a lot of things, so you save the money you would have spent. Is this kind of preference alternative cost?
Opportunity cost. Which one do you want to let go for?
You're saving money.
You're saving money.
All right, more people are still writing in, and somebody just said, simply,